Hello, so here is Clark's video. So this has felt footage from Wednesday and a little bit from Monday. So when we work on skills, before we kind of get into some of the resource guarding or any of the other issues that we're seeing, I like to have a good baseline of commands. So one of the ways that we do this is teaching the name game. So the name game is teaching him that when I call his name, Clark, he has to come sit in front of me and then he gets a reward and I walk away. It's almost like a quick game of like round robin where it's like, Clark, he sits, woohoo, and off we go. We do it again. Clark, he sits, woohoo, we do it again. It teaches the beginnings of leave it. It teaches the beginnings of recall. It also teaches the beginnings of disengagement in general of, hey, sitting and looking at the human is how I get the things that I want to get. So we start and end our days like this every day. We also intermix it through his time out in the yard because it's, hey, I have to listen when I hear my name being called. And again, if he doesn't listen, if he is distracted, that's where I'll give him an and lure him or, yay, I'm so excited to get him to sit in front of you. Now, I do start journaling with leash walking on a slip lead. And right here, all I'm doing is trying to show him that when there's tension, he needs to walk closer to me. And when it's loose, we're doing great. This kid bounces, as I'm sure you know. Like, he really wants to levitate if he could, because he's just so excited. He's very, like, bouncy, bountiful energy. So right here, it's just we go back and forth. So anytime that there's any tension, I take a couple steps backwards until he's with me, I reward, and then we keep going forward, or I stop and ask him for a sit and reward. I'm also teaching him that walking right next to me, walking by my hip, is where the good things come from, which is where you're also getting this excited, like, I'm going to push you with my paws to get the treat. I'm going to come up with my nose up to you and get that treat. It's really common, especially for dogs this age, to just, they don't quite understand the expectation and they're pushing your boundaries essentially. But this is also the second time we've done this. So I'm not asking you guys to do this at home. I'm just kind of showing, hey, what we're starting to teach him in the expectations. And any tension on that neck is just a short tug. We're not lawnmowing the dog. We're not jerking and herking and jerking him around. That is not what this technique is. It's truly just his body weight when he hits that. Now, I also worked on him getting onto the place cot. This is where we're going to teach a place command. I teach stay or place as one command. Now, dogs learn three-dimensionally, so they learn when I am on something off the ground, when they see that it's off the ground, that's where, I'm thinking like I'm on Dog Island, and they learn boundary control. Now, this kid has spectacular balance. We could probably teach him how to do like a sit pretty. We could probably teach him how to do a stand or a dance because he's got some phenomenal back leg and core strength. But right here, all I'm trying to do is get him to go on the cot and sit, and then eventually you're going to see us where we do this beginning introductions of that place command, where he sits, I ask him for a place, I take a step away, and then he gets to be released off of it. I'll send more details on how this is going to be reinforced once he comes back from being fixed. But it's, again, we're learning boundaries. All of training, everything that we do is boundaries, that I have to stop with whatever I'm doing, or I have to listen to the boundary that's being set and check in with the human. And then they get to release. Place and leave it, which we have a little bit in here too, are commands that I like to joke, like, have fun torturing your dog or teasing your dog in a healthy, positive way, because it's all about, hey, I need you to focus. Hey, I need you to focus. Because if we do hit and play, then we can get it in higher thresholds, harder distractions, more difficult things. And right there, he's just like, I don't want to do this. I'm going to sit instead. So he's doing a phenomenal job in learning some of the skills. Now, this is just a snippet of one of our little sessions. I kind of wanted you guys to see the gambit of things that we're working on. Now, this is something from Monday. This is where I was truly just messing with him, just seeing what our thresholds look like. So here I was teasing him with the toy to see if he was interested. And honestly, for the most part, he sniffed it, but he was like, I'd rather check out your treat pouch, which is, to be fair. Now, you can kind of see me working through of, hey, can I get you to play with me? Can I get you to do this with me? And then he's like, oh, look, there's your treat pouch. In a second. Yep, there it is. And then I was like, nope, this is mine. For his breed, I'm not surprised. He's very nosy, so very, very common and very normal. But in here in a second, I'm going to work on I call it the existential crisis. I have 2 treats in 2 hands, and I start him at his nose, and then I hold him off to the side. So the idea is that on either side of my body or my head, there is a treat. And you get to see him and his little eyebrows go back and forth between the treat, the hand, the treat, the hand, the treat, the hand. Now, what I want him to do is to give me eye contact. You can also do it with one hand as well. But again, the key is eye contact releases the treat. Eye contact gets me what I want. I don't get to stand on it. I don't get to push on it. It doesn't matter how pushy I am for it. I have to sit and I have to look. That is how I get what I want. And it's not just sitting. It's sitting and making eye contact. That is where the key aspect comes from. So you can see as we're doing it here in just a moment, I actually move the camera to where you can kind of see like the camera's over my shoulder. It's not the best viewpoint, but you get to enjoy the eyebrow movement that he does. And here you can see him just trying his hardest. Now, when he jumps up in my hands, when he's trying to push me and get into it, I'm just telling him, and I just redirect it. Nope, we're not doing this. Eventually, we'll correct this behavior a little bit more. But right now, I'm still learning him. He's still learning me. I want to make it a positive experience. So you can see right there, like he's going back and forth. He looked at me. He got the treat. He looks very proud of himself. We're going to do it again. I gave him an And with his jumpiness, I do reset him. And there you go. But it's all about, hey, sitting and looking is what gets me the thing I want. Now, I have this ball pit that I use for puzzle feeders. I also use as a confidence builder. I wanted to see what he would do and see if he would explore to get the treats. At first, he was very, very nervous, and eventually I got him to stick his nose in, and I was able to get his feet in. Now, this is where he was doing great. I was interacting with him. He was taking things with me. Like, there were no signs of him going to guard this as his. Just after this video ends, when I go to go pick up the puzzle ball to put it away, is when I saw the resource guarding, where he jumped in it and said, nope, this is mine. So we took a moment to pull him out of the ball pit. We just used the slip lead, pulled him out of it, put him in a sit, picked up all the balls, put him away, and then we worked on, nope, I need you to sit and look at me. Nope, I need you to sit and engage with me. Anytime we have those behaviors, it's all about understanding where the triggers are from. I'll have some more information for you guys as we work on this, and honestly, seeing any negative behavior, it's going to sound really weird, but it's a win from a training perspective, because it means that I've pushed the right buttons to see the negative things that you're seeing at home. Now we can start finding the root cause of it and addressing the root, not just the behavior itself. So, but again, confidence building, it's a good thing.